Hello, my friends. Welcome back to a new film study. Today we have the famous Tyson versus Holmes fight. This is also the revenge fight for Tyson, or avenge fight. He's avenging Muhammad Ali, who was just introduced a little while ago, but I skipped through it. We still got they're doing the announcements. Okay, there we go, round one. Now, I've watched this fight a few months ago. I noticed some really good things that I want to touch base on. Basically, how to deal with Mike Tyson. Now, this is one of Mike Tyson's most dominant performances if you've just seen the highlight. And the thing with a guy like Mike Tyson, and which other fighters? Maybe Manny Pacquiao, Julian Jackson, knockout artists that have huge highlight reels. What you often don't see is the fight that leads up to that highlight reel, how that fight actually goes. So highlight reel boxers are very dangerous for beginners because they just see the highlights of them, but they don't study the whole fight. So Mike Tyson is a highlight reel fighter. He has so many knockouts, but I want to watch what happens in the fight leading up to that knockout. I'm not sure if that landed. Now, Larry Holmes is a little bit older here. He's not in his prime, but I want to show great ways that Larry Holmes dealt with Mike Tyson's ruthless attack. So right there, putting Larry Holmes, I think one of his best assets, people say the jab, that's actually how he flares his hands out like this, and he creates distance and avoids punches just flaring his hands out. If a right hand comes over the top, he'll put this left hand all the way out. A left hook, he'll put the right hand out. He just knows how to use his hands for defense, not the very traditional defensive ways, but he's very good at what he does. Now he's creating distance with Mike Tyson, keeping that left and right out, especially that left in front of his eye, in front of Mike Tyson's eye. Moving laterally, popping that jab out, not going straight back. I guess there he went straight back. So he went straight back, but he didn't sit on the ropes. He went straight back, but he stepped to the right. So here, and he's kind of going like in a half circle motion. Tying up Mike Tyson in close, not getting in a trading session with Tyson, because that was the end of the fight actually, when he let him get close, or when Mike Tyson worked his way in. And you can see putting that left glove out on the head and between the neck, or on the neck between the chin and the shoulder. This really controls an aggressive fighter. Larry Holmes had long arms. So he's working on slowing down Tyson, slowing down his attacks. See how he keeps those hands out? Now, the ref should warn him, you're not allowed doing this, but I guess the ref let it go. The other way to do this is to throw out a jab instead of do mini jabs instead of just pulling the hand out. And you can see Larry Holmes isn't really trading. He's not really throwing too many punches. He's just trying to keep Tyson away. That may be to frustrate him, to tire him out for later in the fight. And you see when he gets in close, he ties him up. I like this fight because it's the divider between the new Mike Tyson, or the 80s, although he came out before this, the 80s fighters, and the 70s, the guys like Larry Holmes and Muhammad Ali. I guess Muhammad Ali was before, but Joe Frazier and all those guys. This is their end of their reign, and this is Mike Tyson's reign. Holyfield and all these guys, Ray Mercer. But it's good to see the different styles between the guys that came up in the 70s and then Mike Tyson's era. Like I said, Holmes was the best at this, putting his hands out and leaning away from his opponent's punches. Tying up Tyson in close, not trading. He doesn't care about landing an uppercut, landing a hook. There's no use of it because Tyson's just going to outpower him on the inside. Especially Larry Holmes doesn't have, sorry for all the constant stops. Larry Holmes doesn't have a great inside game. He's his game was on the outside. He had long arms, so uppercuts and hooks for him on the inside, and taking punches and giving them back just wasn't his thing. He's a keep you out, pop you from outside type fighter. You see him tie up Tyson. And Joe Cortez looks young. There's a failed uppercut by Holmes. And now I want to show something which you can do with an aggressive fighter. Is as Mike Tyson comes in with steps, Larry Holmes takes one step at a time. He's not jumping back, giving Tyson extra space, or letting Tyson cover extra space than more than, like he doesn't want to give him space, so he's just taking one step at a time. Now Tyson's going to speed up that moving inside right now, and that's when Larry Holmes actually gets on his bike and moves out to the right. Okay? So if someone's walking towards you, take one step. If they take one step, you take one step. Until you see them rush, then you could take bigger steps or move a little bit faster. But you don't want to give someone extra real estate in the ring, especially a guy like Mike Tyson. You can see Larry Holmes moving to the right for most part, especially when Tyson attacks. And the other thing is he's turning his jab into a stiff arm. So Larry Holmes, usually he pops a jab, he drops it back quick. A guy like Mike Tyson, you don't want to do that. If you watched Larry Holmes versus Tim Witherspoon was able to slip a lot of his jabs. So with Mike Tyson, who practices, his whole style is slipping jabs of taller guys. You do not want to stick that jab out and drop it or do anything stupid with it, because Tyson will slip and he's going to eat your body up. So what Larry Holmes does is he throws a jab and he sticks it out and gets out the way, not giving a chance for Tyson to slip a jab and move in. He only drops his hand when he's at a far enough distance where he can. There he pops a couple jabs and then moves. Moving to the right and tying him up. And this is what people think about jabs, is a guy like Larry Holmes will jab Tyson without Tyson being able to land a jab because of air quotes reach disadvantages. That's not true. It's all about timing. And Tyson had a solid jab. He didn't use it as much in his later career, but very good timing here. Nice little right uppercut from Larry Holmes on the inside. Nice right body shot by Tyson. Tim Witherspoon landed that on Larry Holmes maybe 5 times in their fight. And you see Larry Holmes moving out right. When people think you're moving right, you're getting closer to the hook. But what Larry Holmes, he's not just stepping to the right. He steps back, okay, where Tyson isn't going to throw his hook, then he steps to the right. Okay, so you can't see my hands right now, but my hands are close together. I'm pulling them far apart, and then one is moving to the right. They're not, the hand isn't moving to the right while the other hand is close, because then Tyson could catch Holmes. So Holmes, think of a big semicircle. Larry Holmes pulls back and then out to the right gradually when he's far away from Tyson's left hook. And let me see here. The dangers of moving to the left with a good left hooker is think of a hug. Okay, so Tyson wants to give Holmes a hug with the hook. If Holmes is on this side of Tyson, on the right side, the hook can actually loop and catch Holmes. But when Tyson is standing here and Holmes is over here, imagine this with me. So don't think of Holmes as here, think of as here. Tyson, if he throws a hook, the hook is still going to be aimed here. So before Tyson can hook, he has to look at and turn with Larry Holmes to put him in this position again. So if Larry Holmes keeps moving to his left and the right of Mike Tyson, he's caught in between the right hand and especially the left hook of Tyson. So Larry Holmes wants to move out here, where Tyson would have to turn before he could punch again. And Tyson fought in a squared stance, so he would have to waste a little bit more time turning. Nice 2 left hooks from Tyson. Now Larry Holmes had a strong jaw, but this is later on in his career, so nice feint, right hand. This is a video I made on Instagram, I believe. Feint, get a reaction out of Tyson. Step back with the jab, pop the right hand. Tyson sees it coming, doesn't really connect, I don't think. Oh no, that wasn't the video. There's another video. And just tie him up on the inside. No reason for Larry Holmes to exchange on the inside. It's a losing battle. You got to know your strong points in a fight. A lot of other or not a lot, but some other fighters against Tyson, they said we're gonna just beat him at his own game, because I believe they didn't trust themselves like Larry Holmes did to fight their own fight. Larry Holmes said or knows, okay, I'm good on the outside. I'm not going to try to look extra tough against Tyson. Okay. Other fighters, same height as Larry Holmes, what they did was they didn't believe in their movement and their ability to keep their distance with Tyson. So they just caved in and said, okay, we got to sit there and trade with him. And that ended up their knockout. So you have to believe in your strengths. Nice right hand and get out the way. And you can see Larry Holmes, for the most part, stepping to the right, sometimes to the left. Was that a nice hook by Tyson or a nice uppercut? And you didn't really land. You can't fall asleep against Tyson. Larry Holmes kind of fell asleep over there. You got to stay on your toes. Nice jab, stiff jab. See, he's not bringing it back as quickly. He's stiffened it up in the chin and then brings it back. Here, tie him up. And when you do this to a guy like Tyson in the 10th, 11th round, Tyson's going to start slowing down. He's not going to keep moving, because we saw what happened in later fights. Gives up a little bit. Because when you're used to knocking guys out in one round, 10 rounds seems like a lifetime. Even though Tyson at this stage was very well conditioned, it's more of a mental thing. If you can't catch a guy within like 7, 8, 9 rounds, you start to lose hope. I see Larry Holmes gets caught with a few shots. It's like he's playing with a pit bull that wants to bite him. Pitbull keeps trying to bite him, but Larry Holmes just gets almost bit, and then he just catches him and, controls him. See, 22 KOs within 3 rounds prior to the Holmes fight. Oh, nice right hook. And you see, this is called head control. You'll see in other ways, you'll see someone like Larry Holmes put their right hand on the neck and pull down Tyson, or they'll put this hand, the left hand, on this side of the neck and push Tyson this way to Tyson's left. Here, and Holmes did this a bunch of times, he puts his hand on this side of Tyson, on the left side of Tyson, and uses his shoulder and pushes Tyson this way. Pushes him this way. He's trying to push him away from him that way so Larry Holmes could go out to the right. Nice jab and get out of there. And that's what Larry Holmes, I think, was afraid of, is jabbing those quick jabs and letting Tyson slip. So that's why Larry Holmes should have jabbed, but here he missed. So jabbed and controlled the head of Tyson, but this is what he was afraid of, Tyson slipping and moving in with a punch. That's why he was stiff-arming after the jab a lot. No, I guess now he's trying to work. Bad. I guess Larry Holmes thought, okay, third round I could start popping the jab. Too early. Mike Tyson is still too fresh in the third round. I think he should have still used his stiff arm, jab and stiff arm. But you see here, he's popping the jab and brings it back quick. And that's a no against Tyson, because Tyson will slip that jab and come in right away. Okay, so Larry Holmes should have still jabbed and stiff-armed Tyson, trying to control his head, jabbed his chest. Like there, those jabs. This is what Larry Holmes is basically known for, is that popping jab and bringing his hand back. Here he survived by putting his hands out again. But you don't want to jab and drop your hand right away. You want to jab and do what he did in the first 2 rounds, which is here, instead of bringing the hand back, jab and stiff arm Tyson, keeping him not able to slip and counter. So a little too early in the fight for maybe sometimes this jab, nice right hand, but too early to constantly do it. Tyson is still too fresh in the third round. Especially a guy like Tyson that's shorter, you're jabbing down at him in the first place, so it's not a good idea. Jab, stiff arm him. There, those two were good, but now I would stiff arm again. Nice, there you go. That's what I meant. So that's how you switch it up. We're gonna go back a little bit. So there's a jab where you stiffen it up at the end and you control your opponent's head or neck, and there's jabs where they pop. See, look, pop, pop. He gets the second one in. First one is dangerous. Tyson could slip and counter, even though he's far away. He could just jump in. So, boom, he lands the second one. Now here he walks back. And see, he holds that one out. So now if he just jabbed and brought it back like the first two, Tyson was about to slip and counter. Here Larry Holmes holds it out, and then right hook. Okay, stiff arm, stiffening out the jab, leaving out for longer. Control jab, I call it. I don't really call it that, I just came up with it. But a stiff jab, and then popping jabs where you bring the hand back quick. If you're catching someone and they don't slip good, pop them with the jab. There's no reason to control them. If someone slips a lot, you want to jab and control them a little bit more. Don't give them the opportunity to slip. Like right there. You notice Tyson is only successful with the counter when Holmes pops the jab, and then Tyson has the space and time and nothing in his way to come back with a jab or a counter. Nice jab. See, it's not about height, the jab, it's about timing and knowing when to jab. But see, Tyson almost has to jump in, leap into a jab, kind of like a Marvin Hagler southpaw jab. Tie him up on the inside. It's not your style. It's not your strength to fight on the inside. Don't fight him on the inside. Nice fake from Mike Tyson. Fake that jab, because Larry Holmes, he's looking to stop him from coming in. See what he did here? Like I said, Larry Holmes is very good at using his hands and gloves to deflect punches before they got to him. A lot of fighters, this is another point against Tyson, is they waited for Tyson's punch to get over here for them to start blocking. Larry Holmes is good at meeting punches and taking them away before the punch got into his area. Okay, but now Tyson did something really good. Faked the jab. He sold the feint. He moved his head with it, and then came over with the right hand. But again, you see, it's not a clean. It did land, but Larry Holmes has his left hand on the neck traps of Tyson and kind of could take some steam off that right hand by moving back with it. Nice. See, Larry Holmes thought he could sneak a uppercut to the body. And then Tyson just opens up quickly. Missed. But you don't want to trade with Tyson on the inside, especially if you got long arms and you're old. Like Larry Holmes, keep him away from you. Maybe later in the fight I'll start getting close to hurt him, but earlier I'm not trying to trade with him on the inside. Time up, wait for the ref to break you up. Okay, this is the video I made on Instagram. Okay, so we talk about the stiff arm. Tyson's moving his head. Larry Holmes keeping that arm out, taking a step back with each step that Tyson takes. Keep maintaining the distance they had originally. Throws the right hand, it misses. Uses his right elbow to push off. And as he extends his right hand, he doesn't stay there. He steps back. Now, before Tyson could come in again, Larry Holmes sticks that jab out, that stiff jab, pops him with the right uppercut, misses, I think, works him on the inside and times him up. Oh, that was a nice left to the body. I don't know why I said keep it up. That was on the button. Nice right hand by Tyson. But like I said, Larry Holmes had great, he had a great chin. Puts his left hand out, throws a right uppercut, gets a left hook. If you watch Larry Holmes versus Tim Witherspoon, Larry Holmes got caught with some crazy punches, but he still kept going, so he had a solid chin. You really got to hit him clean to take him out. Nice right hand. Right there. Let's see this again. Of course, this is so easy to stop a video in slow motion. Be like, right here, he should have done this. But I'll tell you what. Right here. No, right here. He should have moved back, and Larry Holmes should have moved back and out to the right like he did in the first 2 rounds. I don't know why he tried to throw that right uppercut. Bad position for him on the ropes. Bad positioning and leaving himself open. That right uppercut looks like it didn't even land, and if it did land, it's not going to knock out. It's not going to do anything. And then he eats another left hook in return. Okay? So he got caught with the right hand. Get out of there. Don't stay in front of him. This is stuff I would do later, maybe after the 6th, 7th round, if I saw Tyson start getting frustrated. Here, you get hit with the right hand. Man, get out of there. Step to the right. Especially right here when you know Tyson's not going to move in again. Step out. Wow, don't come back in. A guy like Tyson, you really got to wear him out for more than 4 rounds, I believe. Even maybe 6 rounds. Your main goal against Tyson in this era is to survive and frustrate him. It's not really to win on points in the first few rounds. It's to get him into deep waters later in the fight. Is this where the... Now Larry Holmes is moving. Nice right hand. Like I said, Larry Holmes is doing everything right, but he's doing everything around too early. Nice right hand by Tyson. This sort of movement that Holyfield, the Holmes is doing should come in the maybe 5th or 6th round. Holyfield should have done what he did in the 1st and 2nd round in his 3rd and 4th round. So he's just being too early on everything. Maybe he's scared he's not scoring points, or I'm not sure. He should have kept frustrating Tyson and tying him up until the 4th round, started jabbing in the 5th, started dancing in the 6th. Everything is easier said than done. So I can't blame anyone. Larry Holmes might have seen different things more than I could see on the computer. You never know what's going on in someone's head. Nice left hook. See, Larry Holmes is getting too complacent. His first 2 rounds are perfect. He's just, maybe he didn't have the stamina to keep doing what he was doing, or the mental stamina. Maybe he was just tired of constantly keeping Tyson away from him. Tyson's doing good by not giving up, always coming in. Stupid right there. I don't know what Larry Holmes is doing. See, this is what I said. Usually Larry Holmes is a guy that intercepts punches. Larry Holmes is a guy that intercepts punches halfway so they don't land. Even if they land, they don't land clean. And I said other fighters usually keep their hands up and wait for the punch to get to them to block. Here he keeps his left hand close to him, and he gets hit with the right hand. He's going to get hit with the left hook. That drop. Gets up. But a bad move by Larry Holmes. Shaking it off. And he's letting Tyson get weight. I mean, he's not letting Tyson work his way in, but complete different Larry Holmes and the guy in the first 2 rounds. See, he's not even putting his hands out to keep Tyson away anymore. He's not trying anything. He kind of gave up on this point. He's just letting Tyson move in. He's not really tying him up, is he? Not that well as he was doing before. I mean, he's shaking up now. He dropped twice. He's trying to trade with Tyson. Bad move. That was a little bit better, putting his hands out. No, that right hand. There. Now he's surviving though, but it doesn't look good. Now this is what happened. Is Larry Holmes' hand? Can you see it? You can't see it? No, wait, let's go back. Yeah, there. His hand actually got caught in the rope for his right uppercut. And it gets stuck. And then it was just done for him. And then he was out after that. So I think Larry Holmes was doing good in the first 2, but he just started getting too comfortable in the 4th way too early. Tyson was still very dangerous in those rounds. He wasn't like a 3-round fighter. I think people thought he was a 3-round fighter. That's maybe, I don't know. Larry Holmes is out cold. Where's the replay to this? Is that it? Oh, they don't show the replay. But yeah, Larry Holmes, his uppercut got caught in this rope or this rope. I think this rope, when he threw the uppercut and got caught. So, I think Holmes did really good in the first 2 rounds. Using that stiff arm, moving to the right, tying up Tyson on the inside. He did that first 2 rounds. The third round, he started popping the jab too early, letting Tyson start slipping. I think he should have done what he did in the first 2 rounds. In the third round, in the fourth round, he should have started popping his jab a little bit more, still stiff arming. Okay, fourth round, you saw him dancing way too early. Start dancing against Tyson. Then he should have started dancing maybe 6th or 7th round if he had the stamina. But up till then, kept Tyson away from him and frustrated him more and more and more. Before the end, like I said, when I stopped the video a couple of times, I said Larry Holmes would have met those punches halfway out, but he just let Tyson get into his space. Now, I'm not saying Larry Holmes let Tyson do this, because when you have pressure like Tyson, you can't just not let him do things. So that's that. The other thing I want to speak about is, even when someone goes undefeated before they take a loss, like Tyson here. So he beat Larry Holmes, but in those first 2 rounds, you saw Larry Holmes do some good things to keep Tyson away and take away Tyson's strengths. So you see this with the undefeated fighters. They'll get away with some mistakes, or they'll win over someone that was doing something difficult to them, like Larry Holmes in this case. And they're still undefeated, but there's glimpses of how to beat them in these fights. Like, say, Muhammad Ali against Henry Cooper, he stopped him in 6 rounds, right? So when you hear 6-round stoppage, was it 6th or 5th in the first fight? I forget. But when you hear that, you said, oh, this guy beat this guy up. But what's his name? Henry Cooper was actually catching Ali with jabs and left hooks. Okay, Ali still won that fight, and no one really cared about Henry Cooper. Later in Ali's career, he met a guy like Ken Norton, who jabbed with him kind of like how Cooper did, and threw the left hook, which hurt Ali, even broke his jaw. And he met a guy named Joe Frazier that threw the left hook and caught him again. So even when someone wins a fight, even by knockout, there's still glimpses of what to come later, and I hope you know what I'm saying. So not every knockout is a clean knockout. That's why you shouldn't always just watch highlight reels, and that's why being a highlight reel fighter isn't that good. Not that good. I mean, you can't really choose not to be. But people like Mike Tyson, they just make edits of him knocking guys out, but they don't watch the whole fight. And even though he did get this crazy knockout at the end, he did have some difficult times in the beginning. So I suggest boxers to watch full fights rather than just highlights. Because I used to be like a guy like Tyson. When I first started boxing, I used to love Tyson. Before every sparring day, I would watch Mike Tyson, Tupac music highlights, and I would get riled up before sparring. But I should have been watching Mike Tyson's full fights to learn, like in this, how Larry Holmes was able to keep him away, and how to work on things to, even as a short fighter, to not let guys stiff arm me and stuff like that. So if you really want to learn, what I'm trying to say is don't watch highlights. You can watch them to get motivated. Other than that, if you want to learn, watch the whole fight and really study the fight. That's how you can become a better boxer and not just be motivated to go to spar. I talked to you guys' ears off. If you're still listening, thank you very much for watching this fight. A lot of things to learn from here. How to keep a guy away from you, and how to get inside. Not doing things too early. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.